So I'm Martin Paul Jr. Tabe Ojong, an agricultural economist with the World Bank based in Washington, D.C., where I support the West and Central African agriculture and food global practice. I undertake different kinds of operations, different kinds of programmatics, but also different kinds of analytics, all related to food systems transformation, climate smart agriculture, digital agriculture, tree crop development, and most especially, getting in the private sector, into all aspects of agricultural production. So at the World Bank, we are currently viewing agriculture as a key engine for jobs, but also as a key engine for food security and growth. So I contribute to all these different kinds of operations where we work with partner governments, supporting them build, and prepare projects that really address issues of food insecurity, issues of rural poverty, but the issues of climate change and the exacerbating effects it's having. So one of my work I'm really proud of, it's my work on climate smart agriculture, as well as digital agriculture. Climate change, offers a lot of losses for smallholder farmers, the popular narrative is that climate change, it's a big menace. In my work, I've shown that climate smart agriculture can really offer three benefits for smallholder farmers. Firstly, it can increase productivity with ensuing implications on smallholder commercialization, smallholder incomes, reducing poverty, and even stirring agriculture transformation. The second aspect of what I've shown, about the importance of climate smart agriculture is really that it can reduce, the emissions of greenhouse gases, right? With climate smart agriculture, since you're dealing with a lot of sustainable agronomic techniques, different aspects of sustainable intensification, regenerative agriculture, it really reduces the use of various farm chemicals, without, damaging the productivity of households. And the third, tenet of climate smart agriculture that I've shown, in my work is that it can be farm system resilience, right? Because this is what is most important, especially for policymakers. We don't have to always react to crisis. We can always be prepared for crisis. And I've shown that, investments in climate smart agriculture, it's really important, for building the resilience of smallholder farmers. Beyond showing these three prongs or these three big advantages of climate smart agriculture, I've shown where policy can really invest in climate smart agriculture. The first is really through digital innovations. In my earlier work with the International Food Policy Research Institute, we developed an app in Egypt, a crowdsourcing app that crowdsources different kinds of information and gives that information to farmers. Information is something really important for farmers, and it's something that really drives adoption. The second, driver of adoption of this climate smart agriculture practice that I've shown in my work is really the aspects of behavioral factors like aspirations, locus of control, self-efficacy, all of these which can be termed as agency, right? With information, household need finances, and I've shown in different kinds of my work that having access to social protection, having access to financial resources, having access to credit can really reduce the liquidity constraints that households are facing, and by so doing, enable them to adopt these different kinds of climate smart agriculture. So my leadership philosophy is really based on a very simple principle, what I term hold hands. Right, so maybe in future it's going to be called a whole hands movement philosophy. Why? Because I believe that for us to go far, we have to go with many others. Right, teamwork is dream work. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Even in my work, my empirical work, I lead a lot of core research teams. I collaborate with different authors and people in the private sector, different stakeholders, government, because I feel like alone you cannot bring the needed change for food and nutrition security. It's a global effort, it's a collaborative effort, it's an effort that needs many hands on deck. So Farmer holds a very great place in my heart. It's one of those associations where you don't only see a lot of researchers, you see different people of the value chain, beginning from really the upstream. You see farmers, you see private sector experts, you see researchers, you see policymakers. I feel like that is what is important in all of these global engagements, and something I really love with the farmer, because when you bring all of these people in the same room, it's really a big opportunity to discuss various aspects that really matter for the different chains. In some other engagements, you find a lot of silo meetings, right? Researchers are talking to themselves, farmers are talking to themselves in cooperatives, private sectors, agents are saying it's hard for them to get in because there is no enabling environment. If farmer gives that opportunity, that arena for these really great discussions on all aspects. It's really a question of stock taking, right? I always see this global engagement as a period of really comparing notes. So yes, kudos to Ifama for always doing this, and looking forward to being with you at the farmer, in Cork in Ireland in the next 2 months.